guys, welcome to today's video. Today I am doing a first impressions and review on the Chi Fabulous and Flawless foundation. I just picked this up the other day. It was 30% off at Target. I was never going to pay full price for it because $30 is too much, so yeah, it retails for $30. I've been wanting to try this for a while and I've heard good things, bad things. When they made the new formula, I heard even worse things and then better things, so I was like, I have to try this out. And I've always loved the frosted glass bottle, and so this has always just definitely been on my list of things to pick up. Starting off with my shade, I'm in 0.5 porcelain. This is for very fair skin with neutral undertones. Also, I have dry skin, so just to note that. This is the box it comes in, pink, black, white. Fabulous and Flawless on the side, and so this is the new improved non-oxidizing formula. I didn't try the old formula, so I'm not sure if it'll be different or better, or I've never really had anything oxidized, so I don't really know what that means or looks like. Starting off, just read a few of the claims on the back. It says, oil-free, ultra-light formula, medium yet buildable coverage, long-wearing, smudge-proof staying power, easy glide-on application, skin looks and feels soft, fresh and natural, colour true, even-looking shades. Says it's super moisturising, super hydrating, antioxidant vitamin enriched, with continual use, helps reduce the appearance of fine lines. Ooh, I do have fine lines under my eyes, it's really annoying. And it's paraben free, and it says ideal for all skin types including delicate and sensitive. It says only tested on family and friends, so I believe Chi is animal cruelty free, but I'm not 100%, so don't quote me on that. Now it doesn't say it has any SPF in it, so I'm going to assume that it won't have flashback. It is 30 mils, so 1 fluid ounce, standard for any foundation. As I mentioned, I really like the frosted glass packaging, and I feel like it just looks really good. It doesn't claim to have any particular finish, so not matte, dewy, demi-matte, I don't know. So we will have to see while trying it out. Also the shade range. I think the shade range does go quite light. People might argue that because I think I'm quite light, and then people say that like they're super light and this is too dark for them. So maybe I'm not as light as I think, but I think from memory it doesn't go very dark. Like they wouldn't have dark skin shade, but if you're in sort of that medium area, which I know is so unfair because so many foundations do that, they have a lot of shade ranges and a lot of different ones for your different undertones, whether you're pink or yellow. So if you're light to medium to tanned, then I think you'll be able to find a shade, but unfortunately they don't go that dark. Sorry if this is a really long intro, I can't tell, I'm just babbling, just trying to get all the information out that I think you need to know. Now it's time to give this baby a go. So if you would like to see how this turns out, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to put on a primer on half my face. I'm just using the original primer from Australis. Okay, now moving on to foundation application. So I'm just going to be applying with my usual flat top foundation brush, and I'll start off with one pump and see how that goes. Okay, so first impressions, one pump doesn't look like very much, but I'll quickly just chuck that on and see how we go. And the consistency was quite, oh, not really runny, quite thick actually. This is just the primed side first. Another thing I'm noticing is quite a strong fragrance as well. Okay, so one pump with most foundations gets me my whole face done, and I will say one pump with this foundation gives me a light coverage on half my face, so I'm just gonna have to go in with another pump to do the other half, and then probably another pump or two to build it up. Just going in on the other side. I think I can notice on the primed side it does apply a lot smoother. It applies really nicely, although on both sides it's easy to blend. It's going on quite well. I feel like so far both first layers look the same on each side, and also the colour match I think is quite good. So after the first layer, I would say that the coverage is quite, yeah, basically a low coverage. I've still got a lot of redness showing through, my freckles are showing through. Not that I like to cover them up completely, but I would probably like to go for a light to medium coverage. And this is probably when you build it up, it might get to a medium, we'll see. And I feel like the finish is quite matte. I'm not getting a dewy look from this at all, and it feels like it's set quite nicely. It's not sitting on the skin, it's sunk in, it's very, very soft. Yeah, we'll just go in with another layer and see if it's buildable. I'll just take another 2 pumps so I can cover my whole face. Just pop it where I probably want more coverage. Okay, so I'll say it is quite buildable, I think. It has gone on quite nicely. That hasn't disrupted the first layer. It's given me a bit of extra coverage. I'd say now maybe closer to a medium. It does claim to be medium, so I'll give it that. Most people would put on more than 1 coat. So yeah, I've still got a little bit of redness showing through on my cheeks, but once I powder, that usually goes away. I do have quite red cheeks anyway, especially after I've just washed my face or taken off my makeup, things like that. Overall, as I said, it does apply quite nicely. I feel like a little better on the prime side, but not noticeably different really. The smell, quite fragrant and interesting. The coverage, light to medium and buildable. Yes, I'm not sure if you could build it to a full. I would think maybe not. It might begin to get cakey, and I would say a matte finish. I think it sits really nicely on the skin. It feels really nice. It's very soft. I really like it so far, so I'm curious to see how it goes throughout the day, hopefully, and how the rest of my makeup applies to it. But so far, 2 thumbs up. Not really any negatives, except that I have to use 4 pumps compared to a usual 1 pump of my other 2 foundations I own, so that is different. But yeah, I'm so far quite happy with this, and it has said this is a new formula that's non-oxidizing, and so far I don't think it's oxidized. I don't see that. I will just go finish off the rest of my makeup and check back in about half an hour. Okay, so I've just finished applying the rest of my makeup. If you would like to see this makeup look, then I actually have it either up or going up on my channel. It's a Model Co 1 brand tutorial, so if it's up, I'll link it below. If not, then keep an eye out for it. In terms of how the foundation's set, I think it's set quite nicely. I did powder it a little bit just with the Fresh and Flawless powder. First time using that powder, I think it's really nice, although I feel like it is a little bit cakey. So yeah, it's set really nicely. My bronzer applied really nice to it. The cream products did apply quite nicely. I don't know, really everything applied well. The only thing I felt didn't go too well is the cream highlighter, but that's because I was putting it on top of powder when I set my face, which is kind of silly. Other than that, nothing really pushed around the foundation. I feel like it has settled into lines a little bit, but I feel like a lot of foundations do that with me. I think just because my skin's so dry, but it doesn't look flaky. I don't know, it's not too bad. It's still just really nice, and obviously it's not going to change much in like 20 minutes, so it hasn't come off anywhere. But yeah, at the moment it's still looking awesome, and my makeup in general is looking awesome, so everything worked well together. And oh, quickly, just one thing, I feel like the concealer didn't go nicely with it, but that could just be some products just don't go together, foundations and concealers. I feel like I had to use a beauty blender or a brush to sort of tap them together because of using my finger, and I know it probably shouldn't drag, but I was sort of tapping it and dragging it. I was moving the product around. Maybe the warmth of my finger was too warm for those products. That's just something to note if you use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer especially as well, because that's what I used and it didn't go so great. I will just take a quick flash photo and insert it here, and then I will hopefully check back in a few hours. Maybe just really quick updates, because I might only have like a minute or two. Someone might be like in the toilet or in the shower or something, so I'll quickly film it, just because I'm not very good at filming when people are around, and I now live in a house with 6 people, so it's quite difficult. Hopefully I will see you again in a few hours, but if it's only 1 or maybe 2 updates, then I'm sorry. but I'll try the best that I can. So I'll see you soon. So the time is now 2 p.m. I put the foundation on, I think, at about 11:15 in the morning. So it's been just over about 2.5 hours since I've had it on, and I've just got a quick checkup for you guys. So far, I think the foundation is looking pretty good. Just got a few things to quickly point out. So as I mentioned, it has settled into a couple of the fine lines under my eyes, which I do have, so it's hard to avoid that. Also, it has settled, I don't know if you can see, into this one smile line. Not so much this side, I think, because my smile line on this side is more prominent. I also have really prominent forehead lines, and it's sort of what happens sometimes. I put foundation on and it just wears away right in those lines, so just like the lines become even more obvious. So it has done that a little bit. It hasn't really worn off anywhere, which doesn't surprise me. It's only been 2 hours. The products on my cheeks and my eyes, everything is still staying on really well. It's looking a bit dry on my nose, so it might start to wear away there soon. I'm trying not to touch my face as well. So yeah, at the moment it's looking good, but just a few little problems with it. I think maybe it would be better on normal to slightly oily skin, just because when your skin like mine is so dry, honestly it's really hard for any foundation to look good because things just stand out more on dry skin. I mean, I don't have oily skin, so I don't know the problems that come with having oily skin, but dry skin is fine lines, dry patches, flaking, just things. So yeah, I hope that has helped a little bit, and hopefully we will see it in another few hours. Okay, so it's now 4 o'clock, and so if I put it on 11, it's been on for 5 hours. So it's kind of a pretty good gauge. It's better than wearing it for 5 minutes, so I'm happy with that. At the moment, it's probably pretty similar to how it was when I checked in like 2 hours ago. Because my skin's dry, I don't have problems with getting oily throughout the day, so it hasn't become oily or anything. It's still quite soft and still quite matte as well. Problem areas, pretty much the same as before. That smile line again, the lines under my eyes, but I will say it hasn't really gotten much worse. So it's probably just gonna really, by the end, like if I wore it for a few more hours, it would just probably start to wear away. Maybe my nose, it's sort of a little bit become patchy on my nose, the tiniest bit. That's because my nose is quite dry. So yeah, over the next few hours I would say it would just get a bit more patchy, and if you're oily, maybe oily. But other than that, on my skin it's looking fine. I think I've said all I need to say. I am happy with this foundation. I would say try to pick it up when it's on sale, because $30 for drugstore is still quite pricey. Breaking the bank here. I do recommend it if you have dry skin. I'd say it's going to work well. If really dry, like drier than me, which is ridiculous, then well, I know your struggles of trying to find a half decent foundation, but yeah, I would suggest if you have normal skin that this will probably work amazing. And as you saw, I applied it with my flat top brush, and I feel like that worked pretty well. Beauty blender would probably work well as well. I'm happy with this foundation. I'm glad I own it. I will be switching it up a bit more. I'm trying to get at least 5 foundations, so this is number 3. And yeah, I am happy with it. I don't know how many times I've said that, and I don't know if I'm missing anything. I'm trying to do like the most in-depth foundation review as I can. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this review was helpful. I really tried my best to get everything into it that I could. I had a list of all the things that I had to mention, like longevity and the consistency and all that stuff, so I think I touched on everything. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and leave a comment below of anything you'd like to see, because I'm trying to do a variety of things and I hope I'm doing that. But yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.